Hello, yo, 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 yo. All right. This is Woody Collins, and I am going to talk a little bit about COVID vaccines. Well, I'm here in Indiana, Indianapolis, and the state finally lowered its the eligibility. They started out with, I think, 80, then they dropped it to 70, then they finally dropped it to 65 today. I was thinking that they were going to actually make it on um, Wednesday when the governor normally has his press briefing about what's going on in Indiana as far as the pandemic. And so I wasn't looking for anything today. I was looking for something probably on Wednesday. So finally, about 12 o'clock, as I'm thumbing through my emails, I see a message that came in from CVS Pharmacy, which is where I get all my pharmacy medicines prescriptions filled. And he says, oh, they've lowered the rates at 65, blah, blah, blah. And I thought immediately, oh my goodness, I'm behind the curve. And sure enough, this at that time, a little after 12, it was had been announced for 3 hours. So immediately I jumped on the sites trying to find some place, and then, as I think it was everybody was on at that time. Uh, so I picked one site, picked it up, and it looked like it was going to give me a reasonable date of like, 2nd of February. And by the time I put in my information, not available. So then I went back to another site, just kind of guessing which ones would have more um, uh, volume to it that you can get a uh, your vaccination earlier. And after trying that a couple of times, I finally got one for March 16th. I go, March 16th. At first, I thought it was February 16th, and I thought, oh my goodness, March. I can't put up with this. So at that point in time, I decided, okay, let me call 211, which is a toll-free kind of answer all here in Indiana. So that's where you can make your reservations also. So I got on there and it says, oh, your waiting time is 55 minutes. And so I started waiting. So I said, I can't stand this any longer. Let me go ahead and uh, go back to the websites again. And so I started putting in going back to different websites. So finally I found, and, by that time they're even getting out farther, and it's like, oh my goodness, I'm going, oh, this is just terrible, terrible, as we say in English. So I kept on going, and then I finally went to the county health department site and got one for the 10th of February. Needless to say, I didn't hold up. At that point in time, I had two. I thought, well, I don't want the 16th of March, but I don't see how you can cancel it. And so I was still online, and finally it started dropping because it kept saying, like every 15 minutes it would come back on and say, oh yeah, it's 55 minutes. Oh, it's 55 minutes. 55 minutes. And so finally it dropped. Oh, it's down to 30 minutes. Oh, down to 20 minutes. Oh, it's down to, you know, 15 minutes, down to 10 minutes. Then finally decided to say, okay, hello, hi. And I go, oh, yeah, good. So I explained to the young lady on the phone and said, hey, I got a appointment As a matter of fact, I got two appointments. I say I got the first one on the in March, and I thought I could do better than that. So I wanted to find out, can I do better than the 10th? So she says, yeah, give me your information. Typed it in. I guess my name popped up, and she said, well, I see you got one here uh, for the 10th of February. She says, I would advise you to keep that one. So I assume that the system is set up that it can't double book like I did for some reason. So, because I was hoping that she could look around and see whether I can get one earlier and then delete all of them. But that didn't work out. So I decided, okay, she says, keep the one on the 10th. And I said, okay, good. I'm going to keep the one on the 10th. So I was happy. My friend in Wisconsin, he had got here on Sunday, and we were talking, and my daughter down in Florida, she was kind of like going, gee, you didn't you could have came down here and got one. And then my other friends was going, you didn't go to Florida, you should have went to Florida, blah blah blah, So I'm thinking, oh gee. So finally, anyway, I got an appointment now. And then it relate back to the question again, are those people who are eligible, are you going to get your vaccination? And I kind of give you my point of view. Yeah, I'm going to get it. So I've already scheduled it. And, but it's kind of crazy because until this year was the first year that I've even got a flu shot. I've never gotten a flu shot before. Ever since they were coming out, I never got one. Not that I was afraid to get them, but I thought it wasn't no use of getting it. I thought, okay, the flu. I mean, I'm not the type that comes down with the flu or catch colds or anything like that. So I'm thinking, okay, no, I don't really need a flu shot. And finally, this year, with everything that was going on, I decided to get one, and it went okay. So we'll see how that works out. But like I say, I never got the flu shot. Never had it. So, and people would say, "You never got the flu shot?" I'm going, "No, okay." And that primary reason is because I thought, okay, I'm healthy. I could probably survive it, and not a big deal. Plus, a lot of the times I'm not around here in the United States, around people that's where the flu epidemic is going on. I travel over to the Congo, and there's worse things over there that you need to be worried about than the flu. Uh, so, yeah, we got the flu. So, after being chastised by my friends for not getting the flu shot, I decided, well, get one, and also, I'm going to sign up for the COVID-19 vaccination. And the real reason I've signed up for that is initially, looking at all the people that, not only the deaths that we had, it's been, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that is unbelievable. If I would have guessed back in March when it first affected me, meaning to say, I went into lockdown, I came back from vacation, my trip to Congo was canceled, Congo lockdown, all these things that's going on. I would have never thought that, you know, close over 400,000 Americans would have got killed. Actually, I mean, would have died. Actually, I was thinking the worst, that 400,000 people in Africa would be affected by it and die. Well, except for a couple countries in Africa, most of the African countries are surviving, doing pretty well. As in the Congo, there's only 661 deaths and about maybe not even 15,000 cases. And the reports that I'm getting, they say it's mostly foreigners who's bringing the disease in and who's getting sick. So I go, okay, but I know in the Congo they don't have the resources for testing, and they also don't have the resources for deaths. But I don't think it's that high because of a number of reasons. The first reason is the Congo has a much, much, much younger population. Their average age is 15 years old. That's that's half of the people in the Congo is under 15 and half of it was over 15, 15, 16, somewhere in there. So and ours is we are much older country age wise. So as we know, until recently, the COVID virus has not had the big effects on younger people, even though you see some of the younger people now catching it. But for the most part, it's still, compared to Congo, it's still older people in their 40s and 50s and things like that. So it's still not the 20-year-olds and stuff like that. So that's why you don't see a lot. Another thing is Congo is very open, meaning to say is since it's a low resource place, you don't have a lot of electricity, you don't have a lot of air conditioning, even though it's hot there. You kind of sit around under trees in the open. You, if you go into an office or a store, the door is wide open. There's a lot of ventilation, uh, and it's open. So as we know, and we are seeing here, is outdoor things. There's it's not as prevalent doing if you're outdoors and stuff like that. So that's another reason. So, and also, it doesn't, you know, I think there is a drop off in the infection rate during the warmer weather. So that's why Congo don't have it. But, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm talking about here in the United States is what is going on. So, yep, gonna get it on the 10th. About this time on the 10th, I'll be down at the getting ready to have my arm poked and everything like that because I think it could potentially prevent me from catching it and also prevent maybe a death. And the thing about COVID-19 is it has a lot of side effects to it, and I think the side effects now, even though we don't know all the potential side effects the of the vaccine. But now you're seeing that people who have contracted it, I mean, you know, they've lost motor controls. I mean, they say they can't walk, they can't do all the things. They have memory loss, all those different type things that you had. And then there's been a lot of deaths. So to me, that outweighs the not getting it. So that's the main reason that, and there are some uncertainties about if you get it, that what they may find out later. But as every day go by, I look at it and say, hey, everything is continuing to go well, and not any people dropping dead. So the people who are dropping dead are the ones who's had the disease and not the ones that had the vaccination. So if there was 400,000 people dying from the vaccination, yeah, I probably wouldn't get it. I would just say, okay, I'll take my chance on surviving and take my chance on, uh, whatever side effects or lingering secondary things that happen to you when you do have COVID, and even though you survive it, you're gonna have those lasting effects. So I just wanted to know what y'all thought. If you're gonna get it, if you're eligible, if you're not gonna get it, if you're eligible, just let me know. Put it in the comments. We can start a discussion. I know a lot of African Americans, they don't want to get it because of all the Tuskegee trials and stuff that went on, which was bad. But I tell you, you know, syphilis. I never had syphilis or nothing like that, but it could kill you. But there's a lot less infection rate than, death rate than it is with COVID. So I'm just, it just scared the dickens out of me that so many people have passed away because of the pandemic, and it's worldwide, and it's not going to be. Uh, I think of Ebola when I go to the Congo. Yeah, it's in the Congo. The chances of, and it, even though it has come to the United States, it's, I think our situation makes it a lot easier to handle because, we had a facilities to wash our hands and all that stuff. Plus, it is a transmitted not by air, it's transmitted by touching. So you can basically be careful about what you touch and what you're doing, that you won't come down with Ebola versus in the air. You got to breathe, and that's why they're telling you wear your mask because you have to breathe. And if these droplets gets into you, and enough of them gets into you, they're going to could be problems. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say, and so I'm gonna keep telling you about my journey in the next 9 days, 10 days on the 10th, and and I'll let you know what's coming out. And hopefully this will give you some more information. If you have questions, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what, because I think it's something that most of us should get. I mean, they're coming out with something now that's saying that pregnant women shouldn't have it, but okay, that's one group of people that just like they say, pregnant women, you shouldn't drink, you shouldn't smoke, and do a lot of other stuff. So maybe getting the vaccination would be something that you shouldn't do. Uh, what do you think? You know, I guess that question is to people in my age group, 65 and older, are you getting it? And if not, why not? I just want to know. Maybe you know something I don't know. And I want you to say, know something. Don't give me a bunch of my grandma said or my granddaddy said, something you pull out of the sky or you read on the deep, wide web, something that has no factual basis and scientific knowledge behind it. It's just somebody pulling something out of their derriere. So, yeah, let's talk about it. Let me know. Okay, I got 9 days before I go down. So if you got something that really, really is important, you think so, please let me know. I'll talk with you later. Take care. We'll see you later. Be safe. Wash your hands. What? Wear your mask, double mask, and socially distance yourself. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 days so that I can be free of COVID-19 when I go down and get my shot. We'll talk to you later. Drop your comments in there.